Welcome to your Thursday Drives with Lori and Kayleen. Today we are taking you to the Fairways at Kissing Camels.
One of our favorites.
So we're taking you, actually, we're doing 2 driving tours today. You don't get to see them both today, but make sure you subscribe so you can see them both. But we're going to break into some gated communities, and we're going to show you these areas are fabulous. So I'm super excited.
Thelma and Louise with us.
That's a new one for us. And we have our little GoPro ET contraption on top, so you're going to see, it's going to look like you're driving there right with us. Let's go.
There.
Okay.
Now we're straight.
Better?
Yeah.
Okay, we want to be straight today. So we are off. We spent the morning getting caught up on some real estate items. So we're going to show you Kissing Camels Fairway. It's a beautiful location. There is a couple, there's actually one under construction. I think we're going to show you. There's one for 1.12, which is kind of the starting price point. There's one that's a lesser price point, but older. It'd be more like a fixer-upper. But gorgeous views here in this gated community in Colorado Springs.
Well, and that's what I was going to say, is that the Fairways Kissing Camels really is like the ultimate, I guess, breathtaking views of the Colorado Springs area. You get in the backdrop Pikes Peak overlaid with Garden of the Gods red rocks in front of you. And I remember we went and saw a lot up here with a client, and
it's one of the best slots I've ever seen.
One of the best slots ever, and they call it, so when you are right on the edge, that is called first row. And then there's second row and third row, and that's pretty much it. So real estate is a very
129th row way back.
And that's what real estate is very, very limited over here in the Garden of the Gods Country Club area, Fairways. And so if you have a decent amount of money and you want the ultimate premium Colorado Springs views, but also close to the edge of town to go ahead and get out to the mountains on the weekend, or close to downtown, this really is like the apex of Colorado Springs.
Yeah. If you live here and people are going to come visit you and they drive in through this view, right now it's just, it's gorgeous. My husband and I love to travel with our kids, and I remember we came back here, we're in Ireland, I think it's that summer before. We showed that client that house on that lot, which I'm sure is sold by now. But I remember I went home and told my husband, I was like, I know we travel the world, but we live in a pretty dang beautiful place. That lot was something like,
and
just
to me,
ridiculous.
You can see pictures from around the entire world, the entire United States, and when you get this backdrop, you know you're in Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
And you know there's nowhere else like it. I would say maybe a mix of Sedona, but then you also have the mountains in the background of Pikes Peak, so that
and
in
the
itself,
entire access to the Front Range, like all that skiing and everything is all over. So I just love this area. So actually the Fairway sits in the gated community behind this gated community we're talking about, that first, second, third row. And so it's actually on the golf course. So you have a lot of people who would have golf carts and just that kind of lifestyle. A lot of ranches. You'll see a lot of grandiose homes as well. So we're going to show.
So I would say homes range in here anywhere from maybe high 900s. Typically you're at $1 million for a fixer-upper, and you'll go anywhere up to, I think the highest I've seen is high $3 million price point. So in the scheme of things, you if you're seeking out Colorado and you're weighing out places like Vail, Colorado Springs, Eagle, any of these places, really $3 million in the scheme of things for property in Colorado really isn't on the scale that bad.
Are you saying that's the high end?
Yeah. Okay. You go over to Crested Butte and you get a older home in town for $2.5 million. So to have this view and live this lifestyle in Colorado Springs at $3 million, it really is a good buy for Colorado.
Yeah, no, I would agree. So we are going to break into this gated community here.
Yeah, shortly. This should be fun.
I think you should. We
can.
Oh, go on that one.
We kind of have.
We're in the roundabout. We have to get that thing off the top of our car. They're gonna think we're nuts.
All right, so we have to uncamera go through, and then re-camera. So
Kayleen told them we should just be tell them we're Google people, and I was like, I don't know if they're
this is gated too. I think we're screwed.
I know. So we'll be right back. We're gonna break in and then we'll come back. So we broke in. We are going to show you some of the most gorgeous real estate here in Colorado Springs in the Kissing Camels Fairways. I'm really excited about showing you these options today.
Well, and I would say if you're coming to visit Colorado Springs and you're vacationing, considering a move, if you don't know where to stay, I encourage you to check out
that little bench. They put a little Christmas decoration. You can just sit there and overlook the Garden of the Gods. That's so cute.
I encourage you though to stay at Garden of the Gods Resort and Club.
Yes.
Or if you do not want to stay there, at least come up here and get breakfast, lunch, or dinner at the resort. But these are the most breathtaking views. And I would say this community is very picturesque, not cookie cutter.
No, these are all custom built homes.
And they all have different style. Like you go up to even Flying Horse, or even Flying Horse 2 out in Black Forest. A lot of those communities and gated communities have kind of an architectural style.
Yeah.
Up here, it's very eclectic.
Yeah, you have some older homes we're going to show you, built in some modern homes, which we're going to show you, some new build homes. And I do say when the clients are really zoning in this area, I was trying to explain to a client the other day the difference between like this golf course community and Flying Horse. Both spectacular. Mm-hmm. I would say Flying Horse is more of that classic neighborhood where you have homes that are built by like a couple builders. That there's a couple sections for custom built homes, but this whole area is ranch style homes built up against Garden of the Gods, not quite as fancy, all encompassing private clubhouse area.
Look at that giant dog.
It is a giant dog. And I would say one other thing is the Flying Horse seems to have more amenities to me. This one is more established, posh, not maybe as caters to kids quite as much.
Yeah, and we can't steer you, but we will say like the club here is definitely more golf.
It's just a different
social.
lifestyle. Yeah.
I do believe they have tennis. There's a lot of people that walk out here. It's definitely a smaller scale community.
Yeah.
There is a lot of townhomes, luxury townhomes, older ranch style homes like 60s, 70s, mixed in with some, all the way up to new build homes. But
our clients who do love this area though, I usually tell them, let's get on a search, I'll set you up, and let's really zone in on this area because these homes don't come open or active every once in a while. We're going to show you a few actives, but if you're pretty particular in your lot, what type of home style you want, we really want to zone in on what that is that you and your family want.
I will, with that being said, there are lots, like you'll drive around and you'll say, oh, there's an open lot. I wonder how much that is. A lot of people will even purchase the lot because eventually they want to build here one day. You almost have to only shop with what's active on the MLS because even if like there all those lots that were on the south side, Lori,
yeah,
those builders are holding on to them, or the owners of those lots hold on to them because eventually one day they're going to build here. It's not like you can go and I guess you could try to offer on a lot, but it's almost a little bit of a shot in the dark that the owner of that lot is actually going to sell it.
And it's limited. There's just not that much real estate.
So in my mind, this is one of those places you see what's for sale. You pick the home that appeals to you most, maybe architecturally and with a view, knowing that you're going to rehab it and make it your own with your own finishes.
So we're going to show you 3 or 4 different homes in this section. I would say if you are loving this area, reach out to us so we can help maneuver that move. So we're going to show you 1.1, which is probably one of the lower ends. I did see one that was closer to 8, but you would want to put some TLC into that one, I'm assuming. And then we're going to show you one for 1.6, and then there's a row for 2 to 4 million new build homes in this area. If you want a new build, you're probably looking closer to 3. million to start out at.
And they refer to, especially the south section of Garden of the Gods Fairways, as first row, second row, and third row. When you get over here on the north end, there is a little bit more real estate, but on the south end, it literally is only 3 rows of real estate. And so really you are limited to availability. There is that new section of new builds.
There is. That reminds me more of Flying Horse area, like that build type.
But you're like right at $1 million
Yep.
for a brand new build. I would call them, even though they're single family homes, it's a lower maintenance living. You lose a little bit of the view, but you get the lifestyle.
You're not directly on the golf
here.
course, but like here you can see in the summer, obviously this is a golf course. You can see slow golf cart crossing. People here will own their own golf courts and drive them around. So it's just a different type of living. Over there, it'd be a little more of a drive. I mean, you could probably walk to the golf course.
And to me, what's different about this, like you can build homes like this over in the forest, but you get a lot of sunshine here. Like in the forest, it gets a little bit more shaded. You get incredible views. Sometimes when you're in the middle of the forest, you lose that as well. It's golf course living. You're close to downtown and close to Highway 24, which gives you...
Here? I think my house I wanted to show them was back there.
Yeah.
1.1.
But it gives you that exit strategy to be able to leave and go to the mountains without going really through any part of the city.
Everyone needs an exit strategy.
Well, it's true. Like if you're going up to Breckenridge, you literally jump on Highway 24 and it's maybe 8 to 10 minutes before you're out of town.
Yeah, that's one thing I love about Colorado, and I think it's unique to our area, is for sure there's pros and cons to every area you live. I think we get kind of spoiled here in Colorado, but I do love that there's so many different weekend places to explore that you never can get bored. Like I love knowing we can go to, like Brett and I are even going to go up to Boulder because Buca de Beppo's is up there, and that's where we had our wedding dinner or groom's dinner like eons ago, and that's like the only one I can find. But anyways, you can go to Boulder for a weekend and it's gorgeous. Then you can go to Estes Park, which is like, what is it, an hour and a half away, 2 hours? I haven't been for a while. I think it's not far.
I've never been to Estes Park.
What? You've never been to Estes Park?
No.
I love Estes Park. It's like, and they have all like the elk that go through there. You've never been to Estes Park?
I've never been to Estes Park.
Well, that needs to change. Just not in a busy real estate.
So one thing I did this before my oldest went back to college, we've been here for over 10 years, the second stint in time.
Take 2.
And we have never been up Pikes Peak. So we went to drive up it, and in fact, I did some footage.
Can you take the cog railway? I know
it was closed. It was closed that day because of the ice and the weather. So with that being said, if you're coming out here and it is the winter time, you do want to, you can look up the Pikes Peak and the Pikes Peak Railway, or look on their website, but they do close because of weather. And so you want to make sure, like we could only go up, it was 18 miles total up it. We could only make it to mile marker 11
I will have to say,
before you had to stop.
If you're not from here, or I live here for 20, that's not for the faint of heart.
What? Oh my gosh.
To drive up that thing?
Yeah, I was like I'm going to close my eyes right now. I'm going to close my eyes. But to me, it almost felt like you were up in the mountains. There were people sledding up at mile marker 11. Lots of places to pull off and have picnics. And there are some places where if you're afraid of heights, you don't want to look out.
I was going to say,
and the videos I thought I'm going to throw them together for you guys to take a look. But the videos that I got it just doesn't do it justice. You have to go up there and check it out. But I think we're arriving to one of our first homes that we wanted to show you all. I think this is the 1.2 million.
Yeah, it's 1.1-ish. So
we're
going to get our details out and be right back. So home number 1 on our stop is right here, and Kayleen's she's looking up the details on it.
Yes. So, well, look at this. Look at the house across the street. They literally have this modern rooftop
Oh, yeah, patio.
with this twisted staircase. But
That's
look,
because
everything is pointing towards Pikes Peak. So from this home, you do get the Pikes Peak views, but you may have to alter it a little to bring it up to the same caliber of home as across the street. But this is only listed at 1.125. It's been on the market for 180 days. It was built in 1999. It's a 2-story home. Let's see here, square footage, you're at 3,366 square feet. Bedrooms and bathrooms, you have a 4-bed, 2-bath home. There is a 3-car garage, but really you're on a corner lot. There's tiled roofs, there is stucco, but really you're paying to be in this community with this lifestyle. You do get incredible views of Pikes Peak, and it does look like they've done a good job of putting a ton of windows in that upper floor. But great buy here in Fairways at Kissing Camels, and just at over $1 million. On the road again.
Are you going to sing for us today?
Yeah.
That was the lowest price home you're going to see today, so just keep that in mind.
Where are we going to next?
We are going to a $1.59 million home. I think it's under contract, but it's
so
on the golf course.
Mid-price for the area.
And then there's kind of a big jump between existing homes and that new build. So I want to show you that new build at the end as well to show you what that looks like, especially if you want a new build in this area. Number one is we need to look at lots. Number two, we need to look at if there's a builder who's building in the inventory homes, which isn't common. And number three is we can also...
Is that the one, Camito, where we're going?
No, I don't think so. I think it's up here.
Okay.
Keep going straight. What was my third point? Or we can keep an eye on and do a search where you're like, maybe it's an existing home someone built, but for some reason they're moving within the first year or two they lived in that home, and so it presents as that new build. So that's also an option here, yeah. So I think it's right up here. So we didn't drive very far, but this one backs up to the golf course, so we want to kind of show you that as well.
On to the next. Lori's going to tell you about this one, but I want to show you this view.
Keely's trying to steal it from me because of these views. You can see people walking with their dogs. This is 1.159. It is currently under contract, but you can
Wait,
see...
1.159 or 1.59?
1.59.
Gotcha.
Did I say that wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. But this is a ranch home, very typical in this area. Like we talked about, you'll see a lot of homes like this. So if you're looking for main level living, this is a great option. This home was built in 1996, has 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bath. You're close to 5,000 square feet on this. So although it looks like, you know, a simple ranch, it is over almost 4,000 square feet with that basement in here. So you can see right behind me, it sits on the golf course. I'm not sure what hole it's sitting on actually currently, but just you can walk straight ahead and basically see Kissing Camels. I think that is Kissing Camels straight ahead of us, ironically. Because we talk about why this is called Kissing Camels, and if you don't know, from Colorado Springs, they Garden of the Gods, 2 of the rock formations form together, and people say it looks like 2 camels are kissing, and the main rock formation in Garden of the Gods. But this is probably an average price point home here in this Kissing Camels fairway, if not on the lower end, depending upon the age of the home. So we're next going to show you some new build homes, and we talked about that, a little bit higher price point, and probably a little bit more modern features that are putting into the new builds in this area. So if you want modern living, we're going to show it to you here. There's a ridge. There's no current actives on this ridge. There is a home down the street that's active for $3 million, which might be an option for you, but I don't think it sits on that exact ridge. So I want to show you the ridge, and if you want one of these lots, we'll have to do some homework and some research on what that looks like, because it's been a while. a year or so since we've had a client really look into some of these ridge lots.
Yeah, so again, Garden of the Gods, definitely lifestyle, easy access to that downtown mountains. I don't think I've ever been up here and not seen people walking around and enjoying. And sometimes when you get real estate up on a hill, like the house I just bought, it seems like there's definitely more wind than when I was in town. I feel like this has never been windy when we're up here. And the further out east you get wind, but that's what I think it is I think you're so close to these foothills, it kind of blocks that weather, and it's always sunny up here. It's always sunny in Garden of the Gods Fairway, Kissing Camel Fairway, it almost seems.
We have our own weather channel. If you want to tune into it, we predict weather, and so our weather forecast for here is sunny and blocked by wind. No, but it is a great area, as you're about to see. Do you know where you're going? How to get to that ridge from here?
Yep.
You kind of
right up here and to the left.
Okay. So it's coming up. So these views are amazing. And then when we're over here, I'm like, well, we probably should get something to eat. This is what happens.
So Red Lake Brewery. Red Lake
Brewery. That's a great brewery around
I
here
still
too.
have not yet been there. My mom said they have an amazing cherry ale.
Your mom
I
said
don't
this?
know. Yeah, my mom likes to go to breweries.
Oh, look at your mom. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Red Lake it's a big brewery. So if you want like a quaint, the only reason I don't like it sometimes is it's so big. So they'll have food trucks, and the view it's a decent view, but it's not like a Pikes Peak Garden of the Gods view.
Yeah.
But they have like lawn stuff for kids, and it's a great family get together with a bunch of people atmosphere. But if you want like a smaller brewery, it doesn't present that.
So I'll give you a funny story real quick. So over the holidays, my mom's sister came up, and those two, we always make fun of them because they're all about the ambiance when you eat. Like, it really doesn't matter. Like, they want the food to be good, but it doesn't care if it's fancy. They like basic food, but amazing ambiance. And so I was saying, she goes, where should we go, Kaylee? And I said, go to Garden of the Gods resort up there. So they went up here and had breakfast on the patio of the restaurant. And then they started going off on a tangent. They were probably driving through here, and my aunt is in the middle of like building a new home, and so she was going up to people and knocking on their doors and asking for house colors and stuff. Yep, that would be my aunt.
That would be your aunt, yeah. I have done that before, but I didn't knock on the door. I would just like hold it up to like the house as I drove by. It is nerve-wracking.
No,
though,
she
when you have to
like
make that
knocks
final
on the door.
decision.
She's like, "This is what I want." I'm like, "Of course you want that."
Go over. Go down this street. I'm kind of bossy to her right now.
Okay, that's fine. That's
go
fine.
down here and then do a U-turn. It's fine. If we get caught, I'll come bail you out of jail. Just kidding.
Okay, there is like red flags all over.
What is red flag?
Well, no, I think it's just signs on the
but I want to show
fencing
you
that
this
says
home.
it's protected by cameras.
Oh, well, I want to show you this home. This is probably the home's connected by cameras, but it has those floor-to-ceiling windows, and it overlooks Pikes Peak, and I guarantee you it could be in a magazine.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
In 2 seconds. I mean, it is gorgeous. So I'm going to get out and show you this couple of these new build options right here in a second, and I want to show you this view. I know you can kind of see it from here, but I want to show it to you up close. But I want to drive them by this one, and then when we go back, I'm going to take a quick little video.
Okay, I'm excited to see which one's your favorite.
Well, I do like kind of like
to
the
me,
modern,
I think I have to
but
see the inside.
I know for sure, absolutely. But I want this floor-to-ceiling windows. That's what I want. I'm going to show you which one it is.
Is it the one at the end?
I think
probably.
Yeah.
That one's amazing. I like the
Is it this one?
browns. Oh yeah, look
No,
at those windows.
I mean I'm sure that one's great. Is it this one? I think it's this one. Yes.
Oh yes, it is.
Here, I need to show you. Alright, so I did it one time and I wasn't recording, so I'm making Kayleen go back and she's mad at me.
I don't get mad, but I am a little embarrassed.
I have to show them.
Okay, so this is amazing. City views out the front, And
so you're on a cul-de-sac here, and this Kissing Camels. And so here's the first home, beautiful. I haven't seen inside of it, so I'm sure it's magnificent. But
this
here
is
the one
amazing,
that I
Lori.
want to show you. Do you see those
This is my no returns.
floor to ceiling windows? And then behind it, you can see Pikes Peak, that little white thing that's sticking up at the top of that house. That is directly overlooking that home of Pikes Peak. Just gorgeous.
So now is the interactive piece to this video. So we had to check, but there is in fact a camel emoji. So if you are watching and you're liking what you're seeing, go ahead and drop that camel emoji down below and you will get
These are going out this week. Kayleen's going to send out the
I'm going to start sending these out. So if you want a Colorado sticker, drop that camel emoji below. I will get a hold of you and send one your way. So that is the house we need for our luxury home video, Lori.
I know, it's gorgeous.
Find that one.
That window, floor to ceiling window, is amazing. So that was the new build. That's first row. You can see as we're driving out here again, this is on that ridge. You can see Garden of the Gods directly in front of us. Gorgeous area, as you can see here. So if you are thinking of moving to Colorado Springs and you want to know more about this Kissing Camels Fairway or anywhere in Colorado Springs, we'd love to help you make that move. We do it all the time. We know our areas, our neighborhoods inside and out. We know our schools. Our kids just called them from, well, Kayleen's kids called her. We know them inside and out, and we can help make that move pretty seamless for you. So put those numbers into your phone and reach out. And until next time.
Okay, so we wanted to stop and get out and show you all some of the most incredible real estate here in Colorado Springs. I will say I'm a little underwhelmed over here.
What?
By the view of Garden of the Gods. I do feel like a little bit further south you have more that straight on view, but I believe your view of Pikes Peak and the seclusion over here is phenomenal. If you're looking at these homes, you're ranging anywhere from the $2 to $4 million price point. These are newly built. They are, custom homes, most likely engineered foundations, very custom to the lifestyle of the owner of the home. But not only do you get the Pikes Peak views, the red dirt of Colorado Springs, you can see Garden of the Gods, but then again here east to Colorado Springs, you see all the way out to Black Forest. You can see Blodgett's Peak. You can see over by UCCS, Pulpit Rock. You really get the entire view of Colorado Springs. And I would say one thing that's very unique, Lori, is that even though Garden of the Gods is over here on the west side, and we talk about how you kind of lose that view of Pikes Peak in a lot of homes on the west side, that is not the case here. Sometimes when you're over in Peregrine and Cheyenne Meadows, you're just a little bit tucked further back in those foothills, and you lose the peak views. But here in Garden of the Gods, that is completely opposite. You get front row view of Garden of the Gods and Pikes Peak. And on the west side, close to downtown, it really is the apex of real estate in Colorado Springs.